Recording here for Thursday's 5-game main slate. James, we have a little split slate game here on Thursday. 4 games kicking off at 12:30. That one's a little bit of a weird slate. It's got Cincinnati. It's got Coors. Alek Manoah is pitching. So we're kind of grateful that the main slate for a small slate on DraftKings today is going to avoid pretty much all of that. We're going to get 5 games here. We do have the Yankees, Baltimore, Philly, Atlanta, San Francisco, Milwaukee, the Mets, Chicago, and Oakland, Seattle on this slate. I'll say the only wrinkle thrown into all of this is that the top price starter on this slate, not starting. Logan Webb is expected to be the long reliever, with San Francisco using Scott Alexander as an opener. I would think that for some, Webb not being win eligible out of the gate per se could be limiting to his value. Be kind of annoying if Alexander pitches just 1 inning, and that's how that breaks down. But outside of that, that's really the only, like I said, wrinkle that we're looking at for this one.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting because Logan Webb has pitched so well and deep into like every single one of his starts. I'm assuming this is just a one-off with the back injury being a thing, but we'll see.
They're still pitching him though.
Still pitching him, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Why are we doing this?
Maybe they're like, oh, it works so well for Sean Manaea. Why don't we do this again? I don't know.
If we get a Sean Manaea performance here, we're good. What is this?
You're looking at what I'm looking at for Milwaukee. Is what you're looking at. Is that what you're looking at? Who's starting for Milwaukee?
It's not. It's not.
I don't know.
It's not, is it? It's not.
It can't be.
He hasn't pitched in 5 years.
Can it? Julio Teheran? Is that
Julio Teheran?
So the scheduled starter for Milwaukee on MLB.com is to be determined.
Okay, well,
is it Julio Teheran?
Brewers signed Julio Teheran 1 day ago.
Holy cow! We're getting the Julio Teheran
Brewers
special?
have agreed to a major league contracted free agent righty Julio Teheran.
That's awesome. He was so good. I don't know where he went and all the injuries.
I mean, that is
awesome. Shout out to Julio Teheran for making it way back.
Shout out to Julio Teheran. Yeah, listen, so he pitched 1 time last year. I didn't even realize it. 2021. Pitched once in 2021. 5 innings, 1 earned for Detroit. Pitched 10 appearances for the Angels in 2020. 10 ERA, 35 earned in 31 innings. But he was pretty good all those years in Atlanta. Yeah, listen, interesting. Yeah, and again, not even on the DraftKings slate. No. I don't think. But
no, he's not.
I don't know if he's not considered block out the non-eligible guys. No, it's just not on here. But okay. I said no wrinkles, but wrinkle indeed. Julio Teheran pitching in the majors for the first time in 2 years.
Julio Teheran
potentially. That's still TBD, but we'll see.
Still TBD. I mean, definitely an interesting wrinkle because he did pitch a lot for Atlanta. I'm trying to look.
Starts in the PCL this year for San Diego and is released.
Yeah.
5.6 ERA.
Yeah, it's tough. So he had a lot of strikeouts. He was
pitching in the independent league last year, Staten Island, and then
that's what I was looking for too.
Pitched in the Mexican league. I mean,
yeah, he was good in 2 of those stops. Yeah, did have a lot of strikeouts in the PCL, and sometimes we talk about it. Like we saw Bobby Miller, and I'm not sitting here claiming Julio Teheran is gonna go back in a time machine. Still only 32 years old, so that's interesting. 45 strikeouts and 40 innings in the PCL. Again, shout out to Julio Teheran for being back. I don't know if that means we're going to play. And we've seen, the Giants just give righties fit after fit after fit. They gave Joe Ryan barely getting through 5 innings today, Joe Ryan. So, good for Julio Teheran for being back. That is definitely a wrinkle. John, not a lot of Vegas I think you'd expect at the time of this recording. Logan Gilbert minus 230 on the money line for DraftKings Sportsbook. Dead even for Carlos Carrasco, Jameson Taillon, Mets, Cubs, and Yankees slight favorites over the Orioles with Clark Schmidt going to the mound. So Not a lot going on in terms of money line. Not a lot going on in terms of totals. Just 7.5 implied runs in Oakland, Seattle. Nothing in 7 runs in Cubs, Mets. 9 in Yankees, Orioles. So not a lot of runs expected to be had on this evening slate.
Yep. Going over to pitching here. Again, Logan Webb is 10-6, expected long reliever. Could still get a win if he comes in the game and they score a run. It's not impossible for him to still get a win here. It's just tough paying that price for a guy that's not starting because you don't know how many innings he's going to go. Right? He comes in the second, he goes 4, and they pull him or something like that. So if he pitches the way Manaea did with 8, 9 strikeouts.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah.
Good. He'll pay it off because it is a smaller slate, so you can get a little weird with it. Logan Gilbert will be your chalk at $9,900 against Oakland. Everybody will have him in their lineup. 70%, I bet. Probably more.
Probably more. I would say your the latter was correct. Probably more.
Yeah, probably more. Aaron Nola against Atlanta. I mean, not a good spot, and Nola has been off and on at times, coming off of an on start. 10 Ks over 7 innings for Chicago. Again, you will. Let's rewind a little bit. You talked about it on the stream for Wednesday. Atlanta struggles against right-handed pitching. Does that peak at all more for Nola?
Yeah, and Nola's a good pitcher. Coming off probably his best start of the year. It's been a lackadaisical start, to say the least, I think, for Aaron Nola. But he's coming off his highest strikeout output. He's now struck out 6 or more in 3 of his last 5 games. He's getting deep into every start. I mean, 6+ innings and 7 straight starts. So things are turning around slowly but surely for Aaron Nola. 33 fantasy points last time out is great. I do think that there's some upside against Atlanta, who has struggled, has been slightly worse than league average against right-handed pitching. So, yeah, I do like Aaron Nola 95 as the clear pivot off Logan Gilbert. I don't know if I'd rank him ahead. Would I rank him in front of Logan Webb? I don't know. Logan Webb's just going to give you 7 innings, like almost every time out. Like he threw 6 innings with a back injury.
Small slates are great because what was it? The small slate the other day, just like 14 fantasy points was like the SP1 on the day.
Yep.
You don't really need a bad pitching performance is still good. Could still be a good pitching. Brady Singer the other day had negative fantasy points, which was only 5 fantasy points less than the 40% rostered. Who was it there? Now I'm blanking on the name, but it was someone that was like
Corbin Burns. Was it Corbin Burns?
No, but that was the same day. I think there's one chalk starter got rocked. Brady Singer for like
2K left. Bailey Ober.
Yeah.
Bailey Ober.
He only scored 5 less points than the 40% Bailey Ober. So small slates can lead to some weird scoring at times. So that said, and if those numbers hold up tonight, if Tony Gonsolin goes out tonight and shuts down Atlanta, maybe Aaron Nola, Logan Gilbert is an interesting 1-2 combo here. In the next tier down, Schmidt, as you mentioned, at home against Baltimore, feels a little Gibson against the Yankees, though, doesn't feel great. Would you pitch JP Sears against Seattle?
Maybe. I like Seattle against lefties typically. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of good power numbers, at least over the last 2 years.
He shut them out already this year, 6 innings.
But he's been good. I mean, he's been good kind of in general, other than the start against the Yankees where he allowed 3 home runs in Yankee Stadium. And that was a start you and I were actually in on JP Sears, and it was going well for 5 innings, and then the 6th inning, everything unraveled. Right. Very good against Houston his last time out. I think what's been really nice for JP Sears this year is the strikeouts. 7, 6, 7, 4, 7, 4, 11 strikeouts. Like, we've gotten a pretty high ceiling. Yeah. 4 of the last 6 games for JP Sears in strikeouts. He's been pitching into the 6th pretty much religiously.
9.43 K per 9 this year. Cut his walk rate from last year. He was 2.96. He's 1.85 on the year. Home runs, though, to your point, over 2 home runs per 9 inning allowed this year.
Yeah, that's scary with Seattle. I think Seattle has a lot of thump. So, like, Yes. Did he shut them down? Sure. Seattle has definitely been better of late. That's the only concern. I would probably take darts on all three of the guys you just mentioned. Like if you're playing multiple lineups, Clark Schmidt's been better. Baltimore, I think there's just more thump from against lefties. Schmidt has been, 19 fantasy points more in two of his last three. Kyle Gibson coming off a really good start. And he's done that like randomly this
Yeah.
season where he has a 35 fantasy point
I
game
pitched him
already
against
this
Pittsburgh
year.
after he shuts down Tampa and he gets rocked. Like there's
Right.
no rhyme.
But it's just you just kind of sometimes have to take stands on these slates. So like Schmidt, Gibson, Sears to me are all in a tier that I would take darts on. Because after that, like Carrasco's looked horrible. Even in his return, he looked horrible. Tyone got
Tyon's got an 8
absolutely
ERA.
shelled. Yeah, absolutely shelled. The only saving grace he could potentially have is wind, but like the Mets could just death by 1,000 cut him even in Wrigley in a win game. So um, Sears, I would throw into the pool of guys I'd
What do we
consider
do with
TVs.
Dylan Dodd here? One bad start against San Diego, bookended by two good starts on the road against Miami and St. Louis. Obviously, no strikeouts in that start against Miami, but he got the win, got a quality start.
I think the issue for me in general has been the strikeouts with Dylan Dodd. Because he gets an offense in Philly that does strike out a lot against lefties, but will Dodd strike out enough for it to matter? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. So probably not. If you want to take a dart on a guy who's cheaper than like probably six guys offensively,
I was gonna say,
sure.
Yeah, free 99 there. 2 wins in of his 3 starts as well. So speaks to the offense. All right, catcher spot here then. Adley is at 49, Murphy 49, Real Muto 47, Rowley at 45. The usual suspects are up top for us here.
Yeah, I'm okay getting to pretty much any of them. Adley has more power from the left side. He's equally as good of a hitter from both sides, but more power on the left side. Now you get the short porch and the matchup with Clark Schmidt, who struggles against left-handed bats. Love Rutschman there. Love Real Muto if you're targeting Dodd, especially with Dodd pitching to a lot of contact. Like Real Muto isn't a guy who strikes out a ton, going to put the ball in play. So good spot. Cal Raleigh hit in the middle of that lineup. I have no issues with getting to any of those guys. I'm definitely intrigued in like Blake Sable though, because like Tehran, for as much as we like Tehran and how he used to pitch, like he's obviously
I mean,
not. If you,
biggest wild.
yeah.
I mean, the way MLB DFS has gone, it also wouldn't shock me to see Julio Tehran step out there and
I know,
start throwing
honestly,
spinners. And next thing you know, he's got 6
you're not
shutout.
lying.
But
You're not lying there. So like I'm okay. I'm okay getting to like Blake Sable, $3,400, who's been like just consistently very good as a hitter this year. So I really like him in the mid tier.
Alvarez, if he's in the lineup, probably 27.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
If it's, I mean, Murphy didn't play today. I don't know what they're doing with Murphy versus lefties. They've sat him the last 2 times.
I know it's
so I guess we'll see who's in or out of the lineup there for Seattle, but that could be a spot.
Rortvit if he starts. I know Higashioka started now 2 days in a row, but if Rortvit started against Kyle Gibson, it's not the worst spot in the world.
Sure. And then whatever Mets catchers in play. I mentioned Alvarez, but Gary Sanchez is $3,300 too there. So
sure.
First base position here, Olson, Nola. You got Alonso versus Taillon. I imagine probably going to be fairly popular. Rizzo against Gibson. We like usually the Rizzo at home. $4,900. All that stuff's in play for you.
Yeah, Rizzo would be the guy for me up here. You can definitely target Aaron Nola if you wanted to. Like that's not like off limits. Has not been great this year. Lefties have given him a little more trouble, so I'm definitely okay getting to Olson. Let's see. I'm sure there's a lot of BVP here, just considering they've played in the same division. Olson just 3 for 16. Ronald Acuna with monster numbers. Austin Riley with monster numbers against Aaron Nola. So, yeah, I'm okay getting to Olson and Alonso, but Rizzo for me against Kyle Gibson is probably my top name here.
Yeah, it's not the right split for Mountcastle. Much better against lefties than he is righties. Not to say he can't still homer. But lefty's also the ones doing the damage against Clark Schmidt there, 356, 644 slug, and a 452 WOBA against. So when we get to, Rutschman's a switch hitter, maybe Rutschman against Schmidt, as we talked about. But Baltimore doesn't really have a lot of lefties. Cedric Mullins, I guess, right, would be the
and Adam Frazier.
Yeah, and Adam Frazier, right. Down into that mid-tier range, Alec Boehm's $3,300.
Yep.
I mean, we're gonna want to test Julio Teheran, I guess. Lamonte Wade at $3K, right?
Yeah, what do we say about the Giants? Like, they hit righties. They just hit righties. They're annoying against right-handed pitching. Definitely in on Lamonte Wade. I'm also in on Alec Boehm, and the good thing is you can play Boehm at multiple positions.
Yeah, for sure. Vientos, if he's in the lineup, $2,600.
Yeah, throw him and Mervis literally in the same category, right? Like both prospects that have a lot of power in bad matchups, or in good matchups, but might be like a terrible weather spot. So I could see myself getting to either one of those guys as like a GPP play.
Yeah, I'm with you. Second base, Strada's your top guy there. Again, if it feels like on a smaller slate, I guess it'll be difficult to also spend up. Well, San Francisco doesn't have a lot of spend up guys, right? It's really just
No, they don't at all.
Strada, so
They don't.
We might like it. Morel over $5K, $5,100.
Good.
There.
Good. Should be.
Kind of the only two.
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, we have Owen Miller and Caballero at 2,700 both. I know Logan Webb's going to pitch in that game, but Owen Miller's just hitting everybody. 3 home runs in his last 5 games. He hit 4th on Wednesday. Miller and Caballero would be the two like surefire plays.
Yeah, they both have dual eligibility too, which is nice. You can play them across different.
Play both. Yeah. You play them both.
That's all I got down here. Third base. Austin Riley is your top. Eugenio Suarez against the lefty, as we talked about. But I mentioned yesterday, 2 days ago, Suarez's numbers across the board are just starting to dip. Even his numbers against lefties this year aren't great because he's just not hitting anybody. So, Gunnar Henderson, lefty versus Schmidt. Henderson didn't play today, I don't believe, so should be in the lineup.
He's actually been good, dude. He's coming around. 294 over his last 10.
Listen to power, right? Like, he wasn't even getting unlucky, which is the unfortunate thing when you're looking at the numbers. Like, the BABIP was fine. He just wasn't making any good contact. But yeah, coming around. Good to see. Signs of life, $3,900 against Schmidt. Definitely the right split for him there. Lefty power in Yankee Stadium. We've talked LeMahieu hitting cleanup lately for them. D.A.D. Davis hitting righties really well. Probably all pretty strong options here. Let's see, Clark Schmidt, $3,200. Gotta love that price given the way he's been playing.
Casey, but yeah,
Casey's.
I keep saying Clark Schmidt is also on the mound.
Yeah, I always confuse mess up his name there. Casey Schmidt there, $3,200. Great spot for him for sure in that lineup. We'll see if Beatty's where he's at. He picked 5th tonight, $2,800. So third base is kind of decent.
Yeah, I assume we'll get Beatty probably hitting 5th again with the righty on the mound. So I would definitely go back to that well. Tyone's been a guest.
And then we mentioned obviously the dual eligibility of Owen Miller there. Anybody else?
Nothing I see.
All right. Shortstop. You called out Trey Turner today, and then he responded with a homer.
That is exactly. He read my tweet.
He read your tweet. You and Tom Vecchio being like, what happened? Home run. Does he repeat at $5,000?
Maybe. It's a good spot for him. I just am confused at what happened to this guy. I have no idea. He obviously has a lot of upside, and it's not like he just forgot how to play. We just saw him a month prior to the season homer every other at bat against major league caliber pitching. So I don't know. Like, you can get there if you want, $5K. I think the Phillies will be rather popular on this slate.
Sure. Adames will eventually get the righty. He homered today. One at bat against Alexander, probably. Then he gets the Logan Webb. I don't know if you want to go against Logan Webb or not, but he's $4K. Volpe at $3,900, hitting down towards the third part of the Yankees lineup right now. Unless somebody sits, then maybe he gets reshuffled. But Volpe's there at $39. We've talked about Schmidt and Caballero already. Anybody else that I'm down here looking at?
I don't think there's anything else that you missed. I think it's just a pretty weak position
Okay.
overall.
Outfield here then. Again, on these smaller slates, sometimes this talent pool drops off quickly, but we do have a lot of top end tier here. Acuna, Judge, Harper, Rodriguez. Cedric Mullins does have that lefty matchup for Schmidt there at 55. Morel with the mobility. Kelenic, as you put out there, or maybe it was Vreeland put out there, just mashing lefties.
Yeah.
Yep. So $4,900. Not afraid of the lefty matchup there for Kelenic. A good spot for him there. Castellanos against a lefty at 45. Nimmo at 43. So outfield is pretty decent here.
Yeah, I'd almost play every single guy you talked about. I maybe like above, like Schwarber is probably the only guy I wouldn't play above 4K. Maybe Brent Rooker probably wouldn't play. Every other guy's on the table. Cunha, great. Like, pick your stack. Like, Schwarber's hitting 100 over his last 10 games. He's been hitting 170 on the year. I understand he can hit for power, but he's really struggling. I'd play pretty much anyone over 4K. I like Castellanos 45, but he's struggling too. He also profiles good against lefties.
Here, 39,
probably don't go. Yeah. You know what's funny? And I said this to Howard Bender earlier today. He had the best home run odds of anyone on Seattle on Thursday, or on Wednesday, which I found interesting, because he's on a team with Rodriguez and Kelenic, and like he was the one with the best home run odds, and it's probably going to be the similar scenario because he has so much power against left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, I like it. Sayas at 39. That's not bad. Yaz, lefty matchup here at 38 against. Again, we're the unknown of Julio Teheran. Assuming DraftKings not lying to us, but if he's signed, it seems like he's going to slot in here. San Francisco is obviously uber appealing because of all that unknown. We talked about on today's stream, Austin Hayes is actually hitting righties, not hitting lefties this year. So Schmidt there, that $3,800 matchup. Marte still cheap. Story doesn't really matter the matchup if he gets on. 1 or 2 stolen bases is in your future. So outfield for a smaller slate actually has a lot of options for us here.
Yeah, a lot of depth. Everyone, I like every guy you just mentioned. I'll even go further down. Michael Conforto, 3,100 is raking. Day in, day out. He's been really good. This is the guy I think people wanted, but like, hey, he didn't play last year, so like,
very
give him some time.
I know that he was hurt and they're trying to recover, but not even a sign, right? Like, he just took the full year off.
Yeah, decided to just take the full year off, recover, and you know what? Hitting in the middle lineup, like hitting third. So I love Conforto 3,100. He'll be in a lot of my lineups. Mitch Haniger 27. He's been really bad, but I think Giants are clear-cut number one team.
I think so.
Right? At least in terms of...
let's go build our lineup here. We got a couple minutes left in today's show here. So we go to pitching. I think we're plugging in Gilbert. What's our 2? For me, I feel like it's Nola or I take a shot on Sears. I think that's the 2.
I'm most comfortable going Nola, but I'm also going Sears.
Let's see what we can do here, because San Francisco's pretty cheap. So only 38.25. You just mentioned Conforto, just hitting the lights out of the ball right here. Need help spelling his name. We also like Caballero.
Lamonte Wade, 3K.
Wade at first base. We want a Caballero at shortstop. Because we wanted Estrada at second. Third base, we had we could go Schmidt or we could go Owen Miller here.
Or Bohm 3,300 against Dodd.
So we have let's go Schmidt. We'll 4 stack and we'll call it a day for San Francisco.
4,400. Oof, we have a lot of money. We're normal catcher punters. Rutschman, Mullins, and then 2,900. Is that where we're at?
That's kind of just the initial little build. I don't even know if we can get there, but like you said, we had so much money. I was like, well, lefties have been smashing against Schmidt here.
There's nobody like down here.
I feel like Rutschman probably just a one-off catcher spot then.
And then we have 4,200 for an out for
Yeah,
for two outfield spots. Is that what it
Teoscar,
is?
right?
Yeah, I love. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We could do Teoscar and Hayes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, because there wasn't.
Castellanos would be the only other guy at 4,500 against.
Sure, that's not bad either. I'm trying to see. Is there any way to get? Probably not. Right? Was Owen Miller less than Schmidt?
I think so. He's 27. He's 27.
Right, so this is a 5K outfielder. Could do Kalnick here. Yeah,
I'd be okay with that.
All right, so that's what we're looking at here. If we wanted to double spend up, the other one we looked at was Sears. Obviously, a lot more money available to us here. If we wanted to go, we could go back to Schmidt and then just look to spend up, I guess, on outfield here. I mean,
Kalnick. So what do we have? We'll have over
Rodriguez, go from Teoscar to Julio. I'm like,
it's not a bad. That's not a bad.
Not a bad little pivot there.
Wait. We can't do that. We have.
We do. We have to get off of Seattle. Which is fine. Let's go to Sedmo. Right.
Yep. Could we play? Is Schmidt? Is he only third? Because you could play Bohm at third for cheap value, or I don't know.
Well, you still play.
You seem a little. Oh yeah, we could play Owen Miller.
Right now, it's just a $5,100 just one-off Morel. Right.
Yeah, good.
That feels like that's gonna play pretty nicely here. So those are two options for lineups here. Again, 5-game slate. I'll be on the playbook, so be on the lookout for that. If you're not yet a member of the Fantasy Alarm family, you can see the scroll down at the bottom. You go to fantasyalarm.com/all-pro. You can use promo code MLB50, NFL50, whatever one you want there. It gets you 50% off the first 6 months, and that includes a 7-day free trial as well. So sign up, give us a try. If you don't like it after 7 days, you can cancel, no charge to you. But you'll hang out. That gives you access to everything that we do on site, not just MLB DFS, but NBA, NHL, PGA, MMA, NASCAR. And then if you count it out, 6 months, you're into the NFL season with this deal right now. So for a discounted price, you're going to get some NFL DFS content there for about a month and a half, 2 months here. So really no better time than now to join. This deal is not going to last forever. So get in now, sign up again, NFL 50, MLB 50 at fantasyalarm.com/all-pro. We have our premium Discord channel in there where myself, James Grande, Howard Bender, Andrew Cooper, Justin Vreeland, Colby Conway, Dan Servadidio, you name it, the whole team is in there answering your lineup questions to help you guys get ready for tonight's action. So we'll be back for Friday's main